Hello, I'm Woodland Spirit, and this is Nightcap episode 32, and this evening I'm in Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. There's a little bit of a reason why I'm in this game this evening, but I'll start off with, I'm currently in the game. I'm at dock in the system HIP 85960. I'm in a system consisting of, once I get the system map up, three suns, a handful of planets, and 2 stations. I'm currently docked at the Aikubal dock, however that might be pronounced. And for the start of this little video, I'm going to make my way to the Class M Red Sun and make my way back to the Fermat dock. So I'm currently in my ship. Well, the purpose of going to the sun, I'm gonna be a bit of a cheapskate basically and use my fuel scoops to do a little bit of refueling, and then I'll take it from there. So first off, get myself launched. Oh, I could have returned to the surface first, then launch, but it's obviously just a little bit quicker to select launch. This, I must further add that this is the preview version of the game. It's not quite full release yet, so it's possible that a little bug may be encountered during play. We've even managed to keep the debug cam intact as well. There's me ship there just waiting to take off, which I will do just now. So right, I want to set target for the sun that we are currently circling, C. So lock destination. Let's get going. Landing gear up. In terms of actual flight mechanics, there are 3 modes of flight. There's the local flight, where you just fly in the local area, typically around dock. There's a station I'm flying away from. In battle, etc., etc. As such. Overview, flying away from the station. And there is the super cruise mode, which you use to get about the star system itself a lot faster. And of course then there's hyperspace mode, hyperdrive, where you obviously jump from system to system. In terms of the Frontier days, it is a lot improved. Like I say, Frontier days was it was generally not very well liked overall. I mean, it was the way it worked. It was, you set your course and you use time dilation to speed up the whole process, and ultimately it was all very clumsy, especially if you got intercepted into combat, and it was just very fumbly. But anyway, I'm going to engage the frame drive to enter Super Cruise. Nope, full throttle to enter Super Cruise.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
So we're entering Super Cruise now. And now obviously the scanner's changed to show the astronomical objects in the system. And if we do a quick look behind, long gone from the station, as you'll soon see. It's not there anymore. I've flown well away from it. There'd actually be that little speckle right in the middle there, I would have thought. Anyway, return back to the ship, and let's head towards that nice little glowy star right in front of us. And while I'm doing this, you should start getting a sense of the whole, how shall I put it, this area of the system that you fly in. I mean, this is only a small example, unless I was to travel to any of the other stars. So that's a ship in Super Cruise in front of us darting about. Two ships in fact. Trying a bit of fancy flying as the both should pass us any moment. So yes, this is just a small example of, I mean, at any point if you're in safe speed you can drop out. You might at time get, there, hang on, I seen one there. Might at time get unidentified, no that's past it. Don't circle around. Unidentified signals. Weak signal sources, strong signal sources that you can stop and explore. Stop listening. Stop. Thank you. So, ooh. Sort of vaguely heading back to where we came from. But just as an example, I'm going to stop by this unidentified signal source. Any moment. As we're getting closer, it will start to slow down, so it can safely drop out. As you see, when sort of heading back to the planetary bodies that we're moving away from. Up there is another planet. Oh no, yeah, that's a planet a bit further away. So as you can tell, between the two distances, the potential area is quite huge. So, safely disengage Super Cruise. And here, whoa, hello. What we got here? In unidentified areas, you generally find, oh boy, we've got pirates. Not quite what I thought. So I'm not gonna get in battle here, so I'll just, could probably take them. There only seems to be two attacking. Oh, some more have dropped in. No, they could be the federal bodies. I'll leave them to handle them. But yes, as you're flying through the system, you'll get little things like that that you can stop and investigate as you go along. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to get into battle, but I'm going to continue on to this sun. For what you actually do within the game, if you've played the Elite games before, then you know exactly what you can do or can't do. The basis of the game is trade and combat. But you get bulletin boards where you can do other missions and other things extend from that. But one thing that is particularly new to this version of Elite is exploration. I'll go into that a bit later once I've done this little trip. And I might want to start slowing down a tiny bit as I get closer. I don't want to go crashing into the sun. Can you see it getting up? Ooh. Yep. I haven't done this sort of journey to the sun before, so that was going a bit too fast. See there, we're quite close. Slow down. Yeah, very big now compared to before, so we're getting quite close now. I'm going to take it in easy. Take it in. Strong signal source tends to be other ships as well. If weak signal sources tend to be ship, usually within the shipwreck is a bunch of cargo to collect.
Fuel
But
scooping.
bear in mind that any cargo collected is stolen, classed as stolen, and you can only sell it on the black goods market. So here we are. I have, oh hello, person online. I've activated the fuel scoops and now I'm fuel scooping. Being careful not to get too close to the sun while I'm doing this.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yep, fuel scooping complete, so I'll pull away from the sun. And I'll set my
Fuel
target
scoop
destination
disengaged.
to the other dock. I've got a bit of a fancy one, so let's get going. Return journey. This is all within one system. There's a ship flying past. If you see little messages like that, generally there's conflict zones going on. Oop. Oop, oop, too fast, too fast, too fast. Being a little bit careless now. Shoot straight past it and just get it back on the return journey. Yeah, when you fly into destinations, usually best to keep within this blue area for controlled approach. I mean, the actual speed, depending on how close to astronomical bodies you are, is pretty much automatic. And we are making our way, getting close to a planet. I mean, you can come right close to any planet and just take a more detailed look at it. But you can't specifically do anything with planets at present. That's something more specific's expected in an update. We're getting closer now. There we go, safe disengage ready, so safely disengage from Super Cruise. Again to docking position. Typically around space stations there's no fire zones as well. Now, I don't know what that flashing's all about. I think there might be a slight lightning bug going on there. I'm not worried about that. There. Big space station there. Actually, it may not have been maybe a shadow thing going on there. There's a sun there that we've just flown away from. Just slow down a bit as I request docking.
Docking request granted.
Dock request has been granted. So I'm just docking is a lot less painful over previous versions as well, and doing it manually is a lot easier than it used to be. If you haven't played this version specifically yet, but you are familiar with the previous games, meanwhile I'll try not to make a hash of it. Just remember, be vigilant that there's docking pads right on top of the the entrance. And yours might be one of them, so as you're entering, you may fly straight past it. Just be wary of that as well. And you can only dock on pads facing one way as well, so these tend to be more troublesome on outposts where your approach might have you landing backwards on a pad. Oh, landing gear out.
Landing gear not deployed.
Yep, I've got that, don't worry. Doing it now. Get into position. Control speed slightly. And there we go. Successful docking. A lot more simpler with a tiny bit of practice. And we'll enter the hangar. So that was just this very small trip. A very short distance in comparison to some of the systems you can land in. Yeah, you can take up to a good 10 minutes in some systems, depending on the size and the distance of the bodies around in the system. But as for the game itself, it all revolves from the starport services. You have commodities market, which is where your train comes in between worlds. You have your bulletin board. Won't load the bulletin board. It seems on the outer systems bulletin board missions aren't actually implemented yet for the outer core systems, so we won't actually see anything on the bulletin board. But typically they are trade revolving. It's trade like special trade missions of specific items to specific systems, including illegal stuff. So like be wary of that, just in case. Also include hits and partaken in conflict zones as well. In contacts section, this is where you get your fines and pay fines. Sometimes fines are specific to one system, particularly if it's an independent system. Other times it can be sort of, how could I say, faction wide. So yeah, and this is where you collect your bounties as well. If you get attacked by a pirate, you do have to have a warranty scanner to be able to pick up bounties. You have on your targeted ship, you complete a warranty scan, and the bounty is registered on the kill of the pirate. But it may not necessarily be in the system that you're currently in. You might have to travel a bit further afield to actually pick up the bounty, so just be aware of that as well. And here you've got combat bond contact. This is something new within the dangerous world. As I mentioned, systems have conflict zones. And within the conflict zones, you have two factions battling it out. And you choose a faction side, do some battling, and come back and collect bonds on the kills you've registered, and partake in the conflict. And then you have the black market as well, which is no real need for exploration. You have outfitting, which is your ship outfitting. It involves the range of weapons, both kinetic and energy based. And there you go, that's what I was saying. You've got a couple of utility ports, and that's where I've got my kill warrant scanner. And I've currently got the other one empty at the moment. I probably should put some defensive element in there. Let's just have a quick look. You can customize your ship in a huge variety of ways. Point defense. Point defense is possibly a good thing to have. Is that rating high? That might not be such a good rating, that. As always, I'm not worried about that for the moment. And then you got your internal elements, which is a range of equipment, ranging from your power core to sensors, cargo rack for cargo, carrying your cargo, fuel scoop, your discovery scanner for scanning systems, and then your detailed surface scanner for scanning the individual astronomical bodies. And there's all sorts of ways. Is a huge variety of configurations ultimately that you can have for your ship, depending on the role that you want to take. And of course, then you've got your visual customization of your ship. And then from there you have your shipyard as well. Of course, this is where you can buy and store your ships. If you buy a ship, you can have the choice to trade it in or store your old ship. Currently there's a relatively good selection of ships that you can buy. Apparently Asper's good for exploration. Don't quote me on that though. Is there a federal dropship? Don't think I've seen one of them before. Federal dropship, there you go. 19 million credits. Must be a hefty size. Well, considering it's got a whole mass of 580 ton compared to my Cobra Mark III, which is... if I get to it. Oh, pressing the wrong thing. Silly. Yeah, Cobra Mark III, which is 180 ton mass. Yes. So, yep, you can buy and do what fly pretty much any ship that you can. Well, there's specific ships that are NPC controlled, but most ships you can fly yourself. And universal cartographers. Now, this is where the exploration comes in. To be able to explore a system, you need a discovery scanner. By standard, any ship you buy is fitted with a discovery scanner. There are 3 types of discovery scanners. There's the basic, basic, intermediate, and advanced. Basic has a 500 light second range. Intermediate has 1000 light second range, and the advanced is infinite range. So basically, if you want to go on an exploration expedition, you're probably better off with the advanced discovery scanner, which is currently retails in the outfit in about 1.5 million credits. So you need to have to a bit of pretty some pros. And beyond that, you have a detailed discovery scanner. Detailed surface scanner, which you can use to get further scanning information on the bodies within the system. And you can then sell the data for those that haven't been registered as explored anyway. You can sell that data typically 20 light years away from the area where the system that you scanned. Now, this is where for me it gets interesting, because on an exploration, I'll go into the galaxy map. From the galaxy map, you can map out your systems where you want to travel. This is where I currently am. I'm just going to switch mode for a moment. Swip into map. From map, you can see where the occupied, the populated systems are, and the grey ones are unpopulated systems. Now, it is possible that you'll have a populated system, but it's not necessarily classed as discovered, explored rather. I'm not 100% sure of the reason for this, but it does happen. It's a case of, but typically these systems are anarchy systems. I think the fully explored systems are more governmentally controlled, etc., and so forth like that. But yeah, you have your systems that you can fly to. And switch mode, you can set up and down as well, depending on where you want to go. And you can go a long way away. So you have core worlds that you eventually start to run. There we go. We're starting to go into deeper galaxy area, so filled with unexplored systems here. Now, is there anything interesting? So, oh, there's a nebula there. Orion Nebula. So let's go down a bit. Oh, down. Oh, hang on, which is coming? Witch Head Nebula. Getting more level to the Witch Head Nebula. Let's head sort of vaguely over to the Witch Head Nebula. So as you can see, the worlds are starting to get lighter in terms of area. So just there we go. There's a more healthy set of stars there around the Witch Head Nebula. Now, so something smack bang more or less in the middle of it. So if I can, I'll set plot a route. There we go, starting to plot a route. Will it actually... Yeah, it is plotting the route, it's at 30%. This is a bit of a test, this. 34%, 37. Can it plot? 39, 40. Bear in mind how much I've moved along all the stars. 44, 45. So we've actually, so my current location is all the way up there. 59, 60, 62, 64. So it's all picking up pace now, so... Oh, route unavailable. Okay, let's try somewhere a little bit closer. Let's go back up a bit. California Nebula over there. So, okay, this bit, and yeah, so over there. Right, let's try and plot a route for this. I did actually. Oh, there we go. 40%. 45. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. 49. Come on, don't let me down. It's actually 853 light years from my current position. 71, 73, 74, 75, 77, 80, whoops, getting further. Can I? Yep, there we go, we've plotted the route. See that, the line drawn there? That's the jump route it's plotted for me to get to this point. If I just quit back out to the galaxy map for a moment. So let me quit. So that's 170 jumps between here and there, and I'll probably have to fuel scoop on my way. Now, that's all well and good, but I'm not in a really suitable setup for exploration, so I'm not actually going to do that. But purpose for demonstration anyway, if I go back to the galaxy map, there you go, see it's how it's plotted me route there. If I get to the vague end of my route, see there's even obviously a load of stars, systems above the route I'm actually taking, as you can see. So all the way over there, and there's systems everywhere between here and there. Now this is where it gets fun, because if I zoom out a bit, that is shown all unpopulated system. Each grey dot is an unpopulated system, and you see that there, I have only moved a tiny fraction from my current location. All of this area is explorable, travelable. So if I go over here, obviously it's got a lot of data it's trying to handle. If I go over here and then I'll zoom back in, there's star systems all the way over here. That is 400 billion systems that is that you can travel to in this game, and to me that is truly mind-boggling, and to me that is what this whole next gen is all about. Not fancy graphics or anything like that. The worlds that are created and we can play in, that is next gen to me. Not this emphasis on graphics and all that bullshit. The worlds and experiences that it can create us, that is next gen to me. With the Xbox One, PS4 and of course the PC systems. And this is why this game speaks to me so much. It is truly, and on top of that, they are constantly expanding on it. So obviously these core worlds will expand out further as the game gets older. Of course, you constantly get new ships added, which you can fly, and possibly there'll be new equipment added. I've not heard so much on that. And of course, it'll just carry in progress, getting bigger and bigger, expanding out, expanding out. And of course, you'll get people doing exploration expeditions in all these vast number of worlds. And it's just, this is just absolutely brilliant to me. And this is what I expected and wanted from this whole next gen malarkey. Not this super realistic graphics crap. The whole experience of playing within the game. And that is just totally mind-boggling to me. And on that note, I'm going to leave it here. And call it a night. And until the next video, take care and keep it fun.